Welcome to B-Roll Matter Podcast. This is a show that dives into the art of storytelling through video and audio and its impact through various fields. I'm your host, Jamar Bransford, and today we set to uncover the power of storytelling through a whole new light. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the B-Roll Matter Podcast. Today, I'm super excited to have my friend, Ebonie Gibson. She is a community business leader, the founder and CEO of I'm Building Something Consulting, LLC. She has helped over 400 businesses, including this one right here. She is the originator and organizer of Flint Small Business Saturdays, and I said originator. And she sits on several boards, and she can sing her tail off. Ebonie, thank you so much for being part of B-Roll Matters Podcast. How are you?
I am excited. I already expressed that, but I will express it again. To be here I am honored to be here with you.
I appreciate that. I do. So you can just start this, kind of tell everybody about your company, I'm Building Something Consulting, LLC.
Sure. So short story, I was working in retail for about 15 years and just decided that it was time to do a more purposeful work. Wasn't really sure what that work was in detail, but at the time I was helping a friend just with their business. They had started a catering company, and I just loved being able to provide value based on my experience to really help them grow their business. And plus, I've been dibbling and dabbling in entrepreneurship since I was a kid. So went on a faith journey just to figure out what the next step was. And next step was to just jump full time into entrepreneurship. Yeah. So I quit my job and started. At the time, I didn't know what the company was going to be. I just knew I needed to take a leap because otherwise I would remain in that comfortable place. So I took a leap. That was November 2016 and started I'm Building Something Consulting. And we actually started with an event, which is called Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party. And really the brand just started to solve. We started because there were problems that needed to be solved. I was trying to figure out what was next for me and the strategy to get to that. And I went to a vision board party and I didn't get what I needed from that vision board party. But instead of being discouraged, God just kind of showed me that was a problem that needed a solution. Absolutely. So I'm like, okay, what does this strategy look like? And from there, I did it for myself and then just put it out there to see if other people were interested. And that was the start of the agency. And we've been going since November 2016, full time.
Full time. You have been doing an amazing job. I've been seeing you've been able to travel around this country, touching, I'm sure, 400 more businesses. So kind of talking about that vision board party, kind of talk about how do you navigate through different businesses and help them create their own unique path, creating that brand awareness through their own unique path?
That's a good question. I look at the agency as a boutique/luxury model, meaning, I compare it to cars. Like if you're going for a custom car, you can't just get a cookie cutter system, a cookie cutter strategy. Here's 7 steps to get it done. So I'm very intentional about taking into consideration the goals and desires of that person as it relates to their business, the personality and the makeup of that person, what drives and motivates them. Someone might be motivated by sales. Another person might be motivated by impact. Someone else may have a hybrid of the two. And so we build strategies that are best fit and best suited for that person. Some people ask, well, what is your pricing? And we don't have this. We don't have a cookie cutter model because everybody is in a different space in business. Their strengths and opportunities are different. What they bring to the table, what they have and what they don't have. All of that makes up how they're able to show up and perform for their business. So, as it relates to brand awareness, our goal is to make sure that we help you create a brand that you can live in and that you can authentically thrive in. And so, I've seen so many businesses and brands being built, but they aren't built on the authenticity of the person that has to actually run the business. So then when you take your hands off of helping them build, how do they sustain that? Because you've built something that really does not allow for them to function properly. And I've learned that through experience and bumping my head enough times in the beginning of business. As a coach, you can be super ambitious and want more for people, but you have to take into consideration capability, capacity,
Yes.
where they are in business, maturity,
Yes.
what else factors into them being able to show up for their business. Do they have enough time? Do they, so there's so much that goes into figuring that out for them.
So, and then talking about that individual, how important is their individual story? With me being a storyteller for over 20 years, I really enjoy going out when I was working in news and telling everybody's individual story. Everybody's story has their own individual impact. How important is that in business, their individual story?
It's so important. And I'll just be transparent. When I first started, there was an idea of what I thought people wanted to see out of me. And I was very concerned about, because I tell people, like, there's corporate Eb over here, and then there's hood Eb over here, right? And so in my 15 years of retail, I had to show up as corporate Eb. Hood Eb could not walk in the building. So when it came time to create this brand, I struggled in the beginning. Like, I'm like, okay, well, my community connects with hood Eb. I understand the value of corporate Eb. How do I bring this entire story together to show up as my full self? But I remember trying to figure that out along the way. It's like, do I show up in my J's, or do I put on an outfit like I'm going to an interview? What does this look like? And so I became more comfortable with all of me so I could show up and not have to pick and choose which parts of me showed up in the room. And that also challenged how I told my story and how I showed up for my brand. And so I think that's very important, because so many people get stuck in what they think people need versus being like just showing up as who you are, because that's the most comfortable way.
Right.
People are attracted to authenticity. And a lot of times they can pick out from
please. Say that in.
People are attracted to authenticity. And I've even seen that in my own journey. I feel like a lot of people connect well to me because I utilize my platform not to create perfect stories, but to share the journey, whether I'm on top and feeling great, whether I'm struggling and challenges as a business owner. And I've just found that the connectivity has come from just being real inside of the brand and not being perfect.
That's awesome. And then, so shifting over from the business owner and their personal story over to their product. So I have to give it up to you. It's been at least 10 years we've been knowing 15 years?
It's been, we might be pushing 15 at this point.
Okay. And even then, you were doing a program that everyone uses now, Canva. Right? You were like on the cusp of something that you were doing this branding and marketing stuff with Canva then, creating all of these great graphics for their people's products and marketing materials and stuff. How important is that? You were doing some things that most businesses probably still don't know about, having access to these different resources like Canva and other ones out there. Kind of give us some tips, or just tell us the importance of promoting your own product using resources that are available, that's out there. You don't need to necessarily pay tens of thousands of dollars to different companies out there.
And you know what? That's so true. There are so many resources that are available now that weren't available 10 years ago. I would say this though, because some of the challenge is information overwhelm, right? So everybody's telling you like you need to use this app, it does this, you need to grab this app, you need to download this app. And then before you know it, there are literally like 10 to and especially with AI now, it's like 39 apps you need, right? So if you take those 39,000 and try to incorporate them in your business to learn and to navigate all of those while the industry is ever changing, as soon as you learn those, you have to learn some more. So my greatest advice I can give is to assess what the truest needs of your business are, understand your strengths and where you can navigate certain apps and platforms, and then understand what you can't do. Because when it comes down to entrepreneurship, your time and productivity and results matter so much. So if you are spending 30 hours on one reel or one piece of marketing, then that's either not the app for you or that's not your skill set. So we got to collaborate, barter, invest, and find out who can do what, so we can really thrive in the areas that we truly soar in. Right. So I say this: like, find the tools that work best for you and master those. Before there was Canva, I was making graphics through this app on the iPad called Logo Creator. Now it's specific for just putting together type form logos, but I'm like, let me learn this system. As I learned the system, I learned to navigate and finesse the system, and I figured out how to create flyers.
You figured it out.
Yes. So find what's most comfortable for you. Canva is a great tool, though. I will say sometimes the best part of Canva is there are tools that are already made that you can just go in and adjust to make it your brand, whether that's changing out colors, changing out pictures, finding your brand font. But the best thing is to just find a few things that work well for you and don't overwhelm yourself with tools to the point where you paralyze your productivity.
That's awesome. One thing that I really, really do love about you is that like you are community oriented. Like you probably got your hands in so many different areas in a community. Even outside of here in Flint, Michigan, you are just, I don't know if it's the same thing you could talk about, like when you were just out of town, you were like, just doing different things. Can you just touch on some things that you do? I just want to ask about like the importance of community impact. I mean, being out in the community, absolutely. Again, being authentic in the community, not always trying to like upsell everybody in the community, but just being a part of your own community and other communities out there that's like yours.
Absolutely. So I will say this has come with just time, maturity, and growth in business. I'm at a place in business where I feel like the brand is established. It's been long standing. And now it's time to branch out into meaningful partnerships and intentional collaborations in order to really scale the business and take it to the next level. And so part of I know that my impact is local and my community has my heart, but I also know that the brand was always designed to be global. So in order to do that, you have to position your brand to get out into other areas, navigate other cities and states. And so I'm not afraid to get out there and really leverage my connections in other cities to, again, just introduce myself to other brands, potential clients, other people and members and community that are doing some of the same things, or present opportunities for us to collaborate. And that's really some of the engagements and programs that we're a part of that are outside of the state really came from networking and really leveraging partnerships.
That is amazing. Could you kind of tell us how you can use storytelling to build trust with your customer and your community?
Yes. Yeah. Part of branding is identifying your client avatar. So knowing who you're supposed to be, who your product or brand is supposed to be reaching. once you understand who your brand is supposed to be reaching, then you have to understand the dialogue. What matters to them? What's important to them? How do they talk? Can you actually speak the language of your audience? And a lot of times in brands, we as the creator are not very far from the consumer. So if you are understanding that piece, that's an advantage for you. So you get to show up because if your consumer is very similar to you, then it's not very hard for you to figure out the pain points because you're the consumer and the creator. So thinking about what problem does this product solve, or what problem does my brand solve, and how do I speak to the pain point and speak to the results? Because good branding and marketing will have you, like, if you can see yourself in the problem or the pain point or the thing that they are addressing, now you're bought in. That builds trust because now you feel like they're talking directly to me.
Yeah.
And from that connectivity is where conversion comes from. But I think a lot of times we are so busy just trying to sell without a story, like connect with an audience without telling a story as to why the product even exists, as to why you even exist. And so all they see is like, can you buy my stuff? Can you buy my stuff? Can you buy my stuff? Instead of, hey, this is who I am. This is why I do this. This is what I'm presenting to you. This is the meaning and the purpose and the thought behind this. I can relate to you. I have a trusted product. I'm not just trying to get my next bag. And people can live in the story. If they can live in the story, then they can live in the brand. If they can live in the brand, then the key to that is sometimes when people are so invested in the brand because they understand the story, they will buy the product just because you put it out. They might not even need what you have. They're just so invested in the brand because they know the story.
Come on.
I kid you not. Like, we did this special, we did a strategy session special. I had people that booked sessions and they were like, Ebony, I don't even really know what I'm going to talk to you about, but I literally just wanted to connect with you. And it seemed like the perfect, affordable opportunity to connect with you. That is literally people invested and attached to the brand because they know the story. And one in particular, she has watched me from the days of Canva logo creator, having 5 to 10 people at events, to having larger attended events. And this is her investment in what I'm doing because she is embedded in the brand. And people, I feel like part of the effectiveness is I've been transparent about the growth process. I've brought people in through storytelling with the journey. So it's not just my brand, it's our brand. Like, we're all building something and everybody is laying a brick with me. And so if you can build the brand to the point where people feel like they're actually laying the bricks with you, that creates a level of loyalty within the brand that you cannot pay for.
All right, we're gonna switch over to kind of a little bit of the second half. Give me 5 tips that you normally give to new business owners.
5 tips to new business owners. Okay. I would say figure out your strategic plan. Let me back up. Number 1, vision cast. So whatever ideas, there's nothing that's too big, nothing that's too small of a detail. Like, literally look at it like a blank canvas and get all the ideas out because you got to let them live. In my opinion, based on my faith, that is an act of faith. Like, whatever you think, whatever you can see, get it out, put it on paper, put it on a sticky note, put all those things out into the earth, get them out of your brain and get them on paper. And then part of that, once you have everything that you can think of that your brand can possibly be, at that point, you understand that this is going to evolve and grow. But whatever you have at that moment, get it out.
That's good.
Put it on the walls. And then take those concepts and organize those. See where there's some synergy, see where there's some connectivity. identify, hey, is this a phase one goal? Like, can we get this done in the first year of business? Or is this like year 5, year 10? And then start to organize some of those thoughts to see what makes sense where. And from there, start to build out your strategic plan. And I know, and this might be counterculture, but it's like you need your business plan, you need your business plan, you need your business plan. I think you need your strategy first so
Right.
your business plan can be most efficient. If I don't have any clue about what this is really going to mean, then
Right.
I'm kind of stabbed in the dark with my business plan. Like I haven't even given myself enough time to think about the potential of my suite of products from now to 4 years from now. So how can I create a robust business plan when I haven't even given myself the opportunity to strategize for
Right.
it? And
Right.
so some people might, might not agree with that, but in my experience, even when they have a business plan first, if we have to go back in and help with strategy, that business plan changes anyway.
Mhm.
So, number one, get all the ideas out and do vision casting. Number two, organize those thoughts to try to create some sort of phase or categories that makes it all make sense. Number three, create a strategic plan. Number four, identify your strengths and weaknesses once you know what you want to accomplish. Because
Okay.
it's very important to know, like, if you're not administratively strong,
Mhm.
then you know that you're going to have to put some extra grit in the game on the operation side. If
Right.
you know that, hey, I love the creative part, but I realize I will go down a rabbit hole with my creativity, then you have to split your time up between managerial things in your business
Right.
and create things in your business, but you have to know that about yourself. I recommend a personality assessment because it's going to help you understand how you're wired as a person,
That's
and
smart.
it allows you to see how you show up. Prime example, I took an assessment and I didn't take my personality assessment until I was done with retail in about 2 years in business. I scored really high on empathy. I didn't understand how that impacted the way that I managed and that I led. When I understood that, it really showed me like, hey, the great thing is you care a lot about people. The downside of that is you care a lot about people, and it may prevent you from making the best decisions for the business or the team
Right.
because you're gonna be concerned about people over productivity or over business acumen. Once I understood that, I'm able to manage myself better. So I'm literally like, Ebony, bring that, balance that empathy out. You being too empathetic, like you got to put a balance here.
Right.
And it allows me to make better decisions in my business as a result. It also lets me know who I partner well with and who there may be a bit of a challenge with.
Mhm.
That's helpful in understanding how to navigate people,
Mhm.
clients, staff. So I recommend number four is the personality assessment because when you understand that part, when you have challenging clients, you can say, okay, I can tell their personality is this, right?
Right.
I don't necessarily mesh well with that, but how do I overcome that now that I know it? Doesn't mean that you can't work with them. It means that you have an awareness of how to navigate those type of clients.
Mhm.
I like, for instance, I like a free, I prefer, more hands off approach to executing projects. I know that I have clients that are heavy managers and heavy
Right.
administrators. So they're not going to say, Ebony, do what you need to do. You got free reign. They're going to check in and say, hey, how are things going? I'm not going to not work with them for that reason. I just know what type of client I'm dealing with. So I've
Right.
adjusted, I prepared myself for that client, so I'm not saying, oh, I can't work with them. No, I know how to manage this because I understand
Good
their
one.
personality
Right.
and mine.
Yeah.
And I would say the fifth thing is just get some resources and make sure you at least have a mentor or a coach, whether that's someone that you admire in leadership or
Yeah.
someone that has proven results. Even if you can't, even if you're not in a place where you can pay for it, you'd be surprised how easy it is sometimes to just say, hey, I admire what you do and I'm really striving in business. Do you have buy them lunch if you can't sign up for their $10,000 program?
Food goes a long way. Listen.
Yes, yes. And just ask. The worst that they can say is no, but keep asking because you'll stumble across a yes, and you'll stumble across someone that's willing. So I think those 5 things will get you to a very strong start.
All right, I'm gonna get you out on this. Really quick. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie is 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one. Favorite food?
Favorite food is pizza.
Is it? What kind of pizza you like?
I can eat pizza every single day.
You said Pizza Hut?
No, I can eat pizza every single day. My favorite, Chicago pizza, hands down.
Okay. All right. And then do you have a favorite artist? Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Of all time is Brandy.
Oh, that's a good one too. Okay. Little 90s R&B. Okay. I love it.
About the harmonies, all the production.
All right. So I truly appreciate it. Is there anything else you kind of want to give our audience?
I just low-key want to thank you. Can I do that?
All right. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I just want to thank you. No, seriously. I say it every time. I say it privately and publicly, so at least I'm consistent. But it's not every day that you have a friend that has done the things that you have done and just really, really been a force in media and community. And so even B-Roll Matters, the podcast, this is something that you said you wanted to do and you're doing it. So just to see you take it from ideation to it actually happening, this is phenomenal. So I can't wait to see. I'll be able to say I was one of the first when you are interviewing all these amazing people across the world.
And not only the first even here, but I am, and I'll tell everyone how excited I was to even meet you earlier on. You had gave me so many tips along the way. We've worked together. You helped me design my media company, and we went through with the B-Roll Matter stuff and a bunch of other ideas here and there. So if anyone needs additional assistance so that they can get their business together, how can they get in touch with you?
They can go to www.buildwithebony.com. That's Ebonie, Ebonnie.
All right. So we'll make sure we put that on the screen. So for everyone, this again, I kind of want to just retouch again what you just kind of said. I love doing this because I love telling stories, and stories don't always have to be in news. It doesn't always have to be even YouTube. It can even be within marketing and branding of our products and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you give us that insight on how important storytelling is, even in that particular lane, right? So I appreciate that. If anybody need anything else from B-Roll Matters, please visit bromatters.com. We have our apparel and all of the latest episodes of the B-Roll Matter podcast. We truly appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good night.